Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring Gangplank, the Saltwater Scourge. Gangplank is a hybrid melee and ranged physical damage dealer. His main strengths are great mobility, high damage output, and an ultimate that can be cast anywhere on the map. Gangplank's passive is Grog-Soaked Blade. Every attack that Gangplank makes places a stack of Grog-Soaked Blade on his target, up to a cap. Each stack damages and slows the movement of whoever's been struck. Parlay shoots target enemy with Gangplank's pistol, dealing damage. This shot applies on-hit effects such as Sheen, Lifesteal, and Grog-Soaked Blade. Parlay can also critically strike his targets. Additionally, if Parlay kills its target, Gangplank is awarded bonus gold. I take Parlay at level 1 and max it last. Remove Scurvy causes Gangplank to eat a bunch of oranges, healing Gangplank and removing all crowd control effects, such as slows and stuns that afflict him. Raise Morale passively gives Gangplank increased attack damage and movement speed. When activated, Gangplank gains an even larger bonus to these stats, and grants a smaller bonus to nearby allied champions as well. I take Raise Morale at level 2 and max it by level 9. Cannon Barrage marks an area on the map for a few seconds, slowing all enemies in the area and causing cannonballs to fall randomly in the area, damaging anything they strike. Cannon Barrage can be cast anywhere in the game, regardless of how close it is to Gangplank. With a Rune and Mastery build focused on early damage output and durability, you can easily push around most lane opponents. Once Scion blows his stun, I push in with Parlay and activate Raise Morale for bonus movement speed and damage. Because of Grog-Soaked Blade's slow, I'm able to keep up with him as I take down his health bar and force him to recall, giving me free space to farm. Because Parlay gives you bonus gold whenever it kills a unit, you want to use it to farm minions whenever you can. In particular, you want to find out exactly how much damage Parlay will deal to ensure you get the kill. However, because of its cooldown, you will have to kill minions with basic attacks sometimes. The better you can predict your cooldown against minion deaths, the better your gold income. Always remember that Parlay can deal critical strikes. This means that occasionally, Gangplank can get extremely lucky. Volibear dives me with Exhaust. I run until it times out, then turn for a Parlay and a basic attack. My 4% critical chance for masteries triggers on both, and I get a completely free kill. When building mostly for damage, don't rely on Remove Scurvy to keep you alive in a team fight. Scion comes in to stun me and the rest of his team follows up. I remove Scurvy, use Cannon Barrage, and try to run, but now I can't escape the Exhaust or Volibear's Rolling Thunder. While my team is able to pick up a few kills from behind, I die before really helping out my team much. Instead, use a couple of tricks to keep you safer. With Cannon Barrage and Summoner Teleport, you can push a side lane and still show up to the battle without missing a beat. As I watch the battle unfold, I look to kill the squishiest targets possible. I blow up the enemy Scion with Parlay, then activate Raise Morale and Shirelia's Reverie to give my team supreme positioning. With Annie and Vayne completely split off from the rest of my team, we take down Master Yi and Volibear. Because Gangplank takes on the role of carry, you should find pushing with a minion wave to be very powerful. I'm able to earn a lot of gold, pushing up the minion wave to the windmill and fiddlesticks. Whenever he leaves the turret, I push in with Parlay and Grog-Soaked Blade. However, I don't want to dive the turret until I have minions to capture it, so I continue farming. Once they have started capturing the turret, I push in until I notice him channel Crowstorm. Once that ends, I can tank and out-damage drain with Cannon Barrage and Parlay, killing him underneath the windmill and taking the capture. As we get into a teamfight around the windmill, I aim for the squishy targets on the enemy team. I Parlay Twisted Fate and remove Scurvy his stun. Then I activate Yomu's Ghost Blade and take him down almost immediately. Exhaust and Cannon Barrage help me make short work of Volibear as well, leaving just me and Fiddlesticks. Unfortunately, Fiddlesticks is guaranteed to win a fight against me due to his larger health pool. However, a combination of Parlay, my movement speed, and remove Scurvy allow me to waste his time until reinforcements show up. You can use Cannon Barrage to stop enemy captures. I drop it on Fiddlesticks, keeping the windmill neutralized. However, Pantheon and Volibear can easily capture it because I aimed it badly. Instead, aim it at the middle of the point so you can stop everyone. For runes, I take Armor Penetration Marks, Flat Armor Seals, Flat Magic Resist Glyphs, and Flat Attack Damage Quintessences. This build gives me significant early game damage output with Parlay in case I want to push around my lane opponent, while giving me decent resistances that synergize with bonus health, lifesteal, and remove Scurvy. My masteries are 2109, focusing on all physical damage increasing masteries in offense, while taking increased mana regeneration and neutral buff duration in utility. I take Exhaust and Teleport on Summoner's Rift, while subbing out Teleport for Surge on Dominion. In Classic, I open with a Regrowth Pendant and Health Potion, upgrading to Philosopher's Stone. I look to grab cooldown reduction through Ionian Boots of Lucidity and Brutalizer. I continue my build with Trinity Force and Shurelia's Reverie for even more damage, utility, and cooldown reduction. By the end of the game, I want to deal even more damage through Infinity Edge and Yomu's Ghostblade, and increase my durability with Guardian Angel or Banshee's Veil. In Dominion, I look for more durability and damage through basic attacks instead of Parlay. I open with Prospector's Blade and Boots of Speed. I rush for a lot of mobility through Berserker's Greaves and Yomu's Ghostblade. I flesh out my damage output further with Sanguine Blade and Infinity Edge. At this point, I'll need more durability, so I look for items like Frozen Mallet, Odin's Veil, and Atma's Impaler. Thanks for tuning in to the Gangplank Champion Spotlight. Please subscribe to the Riot Games YouTube channel above, and don't forget to thumbs us up just below the video.
Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring Gangplank, the Saltwater Scourge.
There's only one way in Bilgewater. Mine.
As unpredictable as he is brutal, Gangplank reigns as Bilgewater's uncrowned king, through a mix of fear, violence, and cunning. Gangplank relishes the rare moments when some fool challenges him, going to war with pistol and blade to remind everyone the truth behind the tall tales.
The sea may be wicked, but I'm worse.
Gangplank's passive is Trial by Fire. On a moderate cooldown, Gangplank ignites his blade, causing his next melee attack to deal bonus damage, apply a true damage dot, and grant a brief burst of movement speed. Gangplank's Q is Parlay. He fires a shot from his pistol, dealing damage that can crit like a basic attack. Parlay also applies on hit effects like Red Buff and Static Shiv. Parlay plunders extra gold and refunds half its mana cost if it kills a unit. For each gold plundered by Parlay, Gangplank gains a Silver Serpent, which is an exclusive currency he can use at the shop to upgrade his ultimate. We'll get to that in a minute. Use Parlay in early laning to farm at a safe distance from any poke or encroaching junglers, while pocketing the extra gold as money in the bank. Remove Scurvy, Gangplank's W heals him and removes disabling effects. The more health he's missing, the more health he recovers. Whether facing crowd control, sustained damage, or vitamin C deficiency, all Gangplank has to do is eat an orange, and it's K. Powder Keg is Gangplank's E, and there's a bit of a minigame with it for the Saltwater Scourge and his opponents. When he uses Powder Keg, Gangplank tosses out a barrel with 3 hit points that tick down to 1 over a few seconds. If Gangplank last hits the barrel with a basic attack or parlay, it explodes, dealing the attack's damage including crit that ignores a percentage of enemy armor. The explosion slows anyone in the blast zone, and plunders gold if triggered by parlay. He gains barrel charges slowly, but can store several barrels for a battery of boom. Powder kegs can chain together if their explosion radii connect, although the damage doesn't stack. Basically, each additional barrel makes the area bigger. As a reward for exploding a barrel, Gangplank gains bonus movement speed and instantly refreshes his passive. But if an enemy last hits the keg, they'll disarm it with no explosion and pocket a few gold coins. Additionally, because they have other important barrel business to attend to, powder kegs will disappear after being stuck on 1 tick for 60 seconds. Keep in mind that powder kegs prime themselves faster with level. Later in the game, carefully placing one on the path behind you will let you parlay the barrel as you run, slowing your pursuers and reaching safety. Gangplank's ultimate is Cannon Barrage. When he ults, Gangplank calls on a ship to fire waves of cannonballs on a large area with global range, damaging and slowing enemies caught beneath the barrage. There are 3 upgrades Gangplank can purchase over the course of the game with the Silver Serpents from Parlay. First up is Death's Daughter, an enormous cannon that deals tons of true damage at the beginning of the ultimate. Second is Raise Morale, an upgrade that gives allies under the Avalanche of Iron additional move speed. And lastly, Fire at Will increases the ult's rate of fire, dealing extra damage. Remember that your ult gives you global presence. Even if you're in another lane, it's almost as if you're there in spirit. You can use Cannon Barrage to turn the tide of battle and potentially leave your enemies feeling extra salty. Practice makes perfect, and it's still true even if what you're practicing is looting and pillaging. Let's look at some examples of Gangplank in-game. More like game playing. Getting whacked upside the head with a flaming sword is a substantial chunk of damage, making Trial by Fire a critical part of Gangplank's ability to trade in lane. Here, Maokai initiates a fight just as Gangplank's passive comes up. Immediately after applying the burn, Gangplank explodes a powder keg, allowing the Dread Pirate a second blazing hit. Gangplank can be exceptionally good at zoning and poking champions with his barrels, especially anyone who needs to get into melee range to trade. Here, Gangplank places a barrel in front of the minion so that Maokai stays zoned. Rather than give up the lane dominance he's secured, Gangplank uses chain barrel explosions to harass the burly treant further and force him even farther back. Gangplank can unload surprising amounts of damage through an in and out fighting pattern. In this clip, Echo's looking to fight, so Gangplank starts by strategically moving in the opposite direction. When Echo misses the stun, Gangplank parlays a powder keg into a Death's Daughter empowered cannon barrage and simply turns back around to clean up the kill. With Gangplank's seafaring background, it should come as no surprise that he easily clears waves as a split pusher. Placing a premeditated powder keg in the brush will allow him a snap combo with a second barrel if anyone comes to meddle with that split push. When challenged, he can use the slow and bonus movement speed from his barrels to escape. Needing further assistance, Remove Scurvy and Cannon Barrage provide the health and slows needed to reposition. As he searches for new opponents, he sets up several multi-keg chains to evade his pursuers. As deadly as the barrels can be, they're fragile. Enemies who are paying attention can easily disarm them, negating their strength and Gangplank's advantage. In this last clip, watch as Gangplank hides a barrel in the Razorbeak camp, out of range of his enemies. When a fight breaks out, the Saltwater Scourge casts a second barrel and shoots the first to chain the explosion. In the middle of the explosion, he finishes things off with a third barrel, securing a kill on Oriana and Sona. A rather powerful interaction.
Face me, swab!
Thanks for tuning in to the Gangplank Champion Spotlight. Please subscribe to the Riot Games YouTube channel and leave us your comments just below the video.
I have a deficiency of cares.